Hello guys, welcome back to our Anime Explainer. Today is explanation of upcoming episode of Swallowed Star based on novel. So let's start. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God exchanged glances. Lord Mingyu, I would like to ask. Hong looked at the tall and sturdy man. If we joined the Virtual Universe Network Company, what would we need to do? What missions are there? In the early stages, since your powers are weak, the company will nurture you. Hence the management will be very strict. You will have to strictly adhere to the company's orders in training, taking on life or death exams, etc. However, as your power rises, your rights and privileges will constantly increase. At universe level, domain lord, sector lord, the stronger you get, you only need to act at crucial and critical times. Mingyu replied directly. Luo Feng and the others hesitated. Under strict management. Hong and Thunder God, they were both founders of dojos. How could they be managed and be under strict management, when our powers are weak, during the nurturing time? Are we unable to move on our own? Hong asked. Luo Feng and Thunder God looked at the tall and sturdy man before them. You'll have holidays, fixed holidays. The tall and sturdy man emphasized, the nurturing period when your powers are weak has very strict supervision. This point you all have to understand. Holidays. With the Virtual Universe Network, you can still meet with your loved ones and chat, so the holidays don't really mean much. Hong, Thunder God and Luo Feng exchanged glances and shook their heads. They couldn't accept this. The nurturing period. Maybe the entire star levels were deemed as the nurturing period for the Virtual Universe Network Company. This could be 100 years or more of strict management. Luo Feng and the other two couldn't accept this. The external department Mingyu creased his eyebrows, sighing within. They can't take the strict management. He had frequently encountered such incidents, as the external department that frequently invited geniuses to join their Virtual Universe Network Company. However, since they were geniuses, they'd long have powers that tried to entice them. These geniuses were all generally untamed, who would be unwilling to subject themselves to long periods of strict supervision, hence the rejection rate was high. However, the important internal people, who the Virtual Universe Network Company cultivated, had to pass very strict supervision and a tedious process. We are unable to accept. Hong said, oh, of course. Mingyu smiled. What I mentioned earlier was the internal members. Our Virtual Universe Network Company is separated into internal and external. There are many privileges to being an internal member, but the supervision is stricter. The external members, however, are much more lax, but their privileges are much smaller. They are far from the internal members. Like me, for example, an external department person. Mingyu smiled. If you become external members, even though you'll be unable to receive evolution catalysts, but you'll still might be able to use money to buy them. Buying your first portion, and you'll even get it at a lower price. Buying the second portion will be much more costly. A normal external member may buy up to 3 portions. How much? Luo Feng asked. Bloodline evolution catalysts, buying the first portion, is priced at 100 million Ganwu dollars. If it's the second portion, it would cost 1 billion Ganwu dollars. Mingyu said, bloodline catalysts are very rarely circulated outside. Only one with incredible luck and skill will be able to get one outside, and the prices would be extremely absurd. At the same time, the Virtual Universe Network Company very strictly forbids you all from selling them outside. If you were ever discovered to be peddling them outside secretly, death. Mingyu said casually. Luo Feng immediately gave up on the thought of selling it outside. These are some rules regarding joining our Virtual Universe Network Company. Take a look, if you can accept them. The tall and sturdy Mingyu pointed at the screen. On it appeared a large amount of rules and regulations. 5 minutes later, welcome to our Virtual Universe Network Company. Right now you are all external members of our Virtual Universe Network Company Black Dragon Mountain Empire Department, currently under my jurisdiction. Drop me a mail if you have any matters. The tall and sturdy Mingyu smiled. Yes, Lord Mingyu. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God bowed slightly. Leaving the killing fields, returning to their house, 9-star bay on Black Dragon Mountain Island, being an external member is extremely lax. They actually allow us to join a few other normal organizations, even allowing us to join things like the Ganwu Dojo. It's really unbelievable. Thunder God walked along the pebble road by the lakeside, exclaiming surprised, it only forbids us from joining the Battle Axe Coliseum, and other powers that exceed the Empire's power. The Virtual Universe Network Company's military department was separated into internal and external. The internal group was the most loyal and dependable, and they were also forbidden by the Virtual Universe Network Company's most important departments from joining any other powers. The external group was much more lax. For example, if a sector lord from the Ganwu dojo were to be invited by the company, they could just leave their names in the external department. The moment an important battle or matter arises, they can let their external members go battle. Usually there weren't many limits on the external members, just as long as they don't join any similarly leveled superpowers. The Virtual Universe Network Company doesn't even bother to notice the Ganwu dojo. Luo Feng laughed. Ha ha, joining the Virtual Universe Network Company, Luo Feng, I still thought of you borrowing some of the Ganwu dojo's strength in the future. However, since you are part of the Virtual Universe Network Company's external department, with a high enough position, that's even better. Barbata was very excited. Big brother, second brother, do you have enough money to buy the evolution catalyst? Luo Feng asked. Enough. It's still plenty. Hong and Thunder God said. Luo Feng felt helpless within. The main thing was that his money worried him at the moment, because he was using the 89 times efficiency metal groupings, madly swallowing to evolve his internal world, believing that it wouldn't even take a year for him to break through to the universe level. A universe-level golden horned beast, the price of the metal it required, that was hundreds to even thousands of times more absurd. Calculating his own money, he definitely didn't have enough. My teacher back then probably never would have thought that his next disciple would have a golden horned beast body. A golden horned beast is really a black hole for money. Luo Feng thought within. Third brother, after we finish out matters with the external department, I've decided to go sign up at the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Hong's eyes gleamed. Even though I'm currently still unable to take the probation examinations, however, I can't take it anymore. Me too. Thunder God licked his lips, eyes gleaming with sense of wilderness, dancing with blades in life or death situations. That's what I call an exciting life. You too, Luo Feng was shocked. Third brother, will you go too? Hong asked. Let's go together. No. Thunder God too looked at Luo Feng. The fighters of Earth, how many of them were gutless? Go, of course we'll go together. Luo Feng said. Ha ha, Thunder God laughed loudly. Brother. Hong too patted Luo Feng's shoulder. Luo Feng looked at his two older brothers who seemed to have a new flame ignited within them, thinking within, risks. Yes, I too want to take risks. The feeling of dancing with blades in the face of life and death, that was indeed a glorious feeling. Back then in the wilderness, gambling his life in death battles with the beasts, that feeling was indeed heart-stopping. If big brother and second brother really encounter an unavoidable danger, I can release my golden horned beast body and save them. Luo Feng thought within. The golden horned beast's existence had to be kept secret. However, if they met with an unavoidable danger, he would of course have to unleash it. Within the hall of the killing fields, an incomparably elderly green-skinned old man sat in the corner, carrying a glass of water, lifting his wrinkled forehead, looking at his surroundings with his muddy eyes. He was the main manager of the Black Dragon Mountain Islands killing fields, Man Luo, an elder with a renowned name around here. At this time, the tall and sturdy Mingyu swiftly walked over, walking directly to the green-skinned old man. Lord. Mingyu said softly, how'd it go? The green-skinned old man's muddy gaze looked at him. Yu lowered his head respectfully. The Lord guessed accurately. The three are unwilling to join the internal department. They've only joined the external department. Also that Hong is indeed very powerful. Star Traveler level 9, 3-layer domain. 3-layer domain. The green-skinned old man's eyes lit up. His originally muddy eyes seemed penetrating and clear suddenly, almost as though it held boundless amounts of knowledge, able to see right through a person's soul. Before this old man, the 2-star mercenary Mingyu was incomparably respectful, and this was pure respect from within. Very good. The green-skinned old man smiled and nodded. His eyes reverted to its muddy state. To be able to discover a level 1 elite, that's not bad. After all special elites, this can be discovered but not sought. This level of genius cannot be forced. For them to join the external department is already not bad. We'll let them expand on their own. Yes. Mingyu said respectfully. Whatever he did before, be it analyzing Luo Feng, or the other two, and observing them for a month, these were all ordered by Lord Man Luo. Why would Mingyu himself have such time to go observe Luo Feng and the other two for a whole month? Earth. The spring warmth bloomed. In China's Yangzhou city, a C9 grade dark blue triangular universe ship floated over in the sky above the castle. This was a ship that Luo Feng and the others had just bought, spending 11 billion Black Dragon dollars. To Luo Feng and the others at the moment, this was indeed nothing at all. After all the planet defense system alone, Luo Feng had spent about 10 times more than the ship. Don't cry, Daddy is just going out, and we can all meet in the virtual universe. Come, be good, give Daddy a kiss. Luo Feng stood half squatting in front of his two children. The two handsome and adorable boys gave Luo Feng a hard kiss each on the cheek, hugging him tightly, reluctant to let him go. Son. Luo Hongwa patted Luo Feng's shoulders. I won't say more, remember to mind your safety outside. Oh, right, where's Luo Hua? Luo Feng looked around him. Beside, Jun Nan, who had come to send him off, said, Luo Hua's trading and investing these few days have been a very crucial time. Right now it's their time of dealings. He doesn't dare to relax even a little. Hence, he told me to send you off, and he said he'll apologize again in the future in the virtual universe network. This kid. Luo Feng shook his head and couldn't help but laugh. Luo Feng bid goodbye to his family. Beside them were Hong's family and Thunder God's family, each coming to send them off. After which, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God took two slaves into the universe ship. The dark blue triangular universe ship gradually rose into the sky, under the sights of the three families. It swiftly left the atmosphere, disappearing from their line of sight. The universe ship traveled for about 8 hours within the dark universe, traveling through universes, reaching the Bailan star about 118,000 light-years away from Earth. Bailan star North region, the extreme cold district. A dark blue C9 grade universe ship descended within the center of the warehouse base. Right before the castle, the castle's guards immediately stepped forward to welcome them. We'll first stay at Bailan star for 3 days. The virtual universe network company requires about 3 days of time to send over the bloodline catalyst. Luo Feng jumped straight out of the cabin door, standing on the snow-covered ground. The sound of crunching and ice breaking resounded. Behind him, Hong and Thunder God also jumped down and walked beside him. Luo Feng was dressed in a blood-red battle uniform, his waist belt tied securely, his uniform's tail swayed in the wind. Thunder God was dressed in a white battle uniform while Hong was all black. Luo Feng and Hong's battle uniforms were both formed from the Cloud Contact Vine's transformation. Only Thunder God's was a specially bought level 2 raw energy uniform. That external department Mingyu actually exaggerated the bloodline catalyst like it's godly and unbelievable. Who knows whether it's the truth or not? Thunder God muttered, even in the virtual universe network, we couldn't even research any news about the bloodline catalysts. That's just because your permissions aren't high enough. Luo Feng laughed. Researching data in the virtual universe network, using my normal status, I cannot search for anything important, nothing secret, everything is public news and easy. However, some higher level data requires a high enough permission to actually gain access to. Levels everywhere. Thunder God shook his head. What place doesn't have levels? There's rich and the poor, the people in power and the average. Hong also laughed. On the third night of their arrival on Bailan star, evening. Due to the pure white snow covering the land and reflecting, the sky still seemed rather bright. A dark grey disc-shaped universe ship didn't even land within the planet's docking bay, instead flying directly to Luo Feng's warehouse base. This ship had a huge virtual universe network logo to represent its status. Rumble. The ship stopped. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God stood on the snowy ground, raising their heads anxiously looking at the ship. The cabin door opened. 3 members dressed in black battle uniform, led by a lady carrying a briefcase, with the other 2 by her side, flew over from the cabin door and landed before Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God. The leading lady wore dark sunglasses. Looking at Luo Feng and the others, numbers flitted past her lenses, data that only she could see. Identification confirmed, we can proceed with the deal. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God, these are your bloodline evolution catalysts. The pale-skinned, cold expressionless lady immediately opened the briefcase. Within it were 3 colorful glowing long syringes with colorful liquids. Clunk. She closed the briefcase and brought it before Luo Feng and the others. Thanks. Luo Feng raised his hand and received it. The 3 men and lady turned immediately and flew into the universe ship. Within a few seconds, the ship had risen up and flown through the atmosphere, leaving Bailan star, bloodline evolution catalyst. Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God looked at the briefcase within their hands. Go, let's enter. Luo Feng shouted. Ha ha, we can't wait anymore. Thunder God's eyes gleamed. Luo Feng and the other 2 took out 1 portion each, entering their separate private training rooms. Bloodline evolution catalyst. Luo Feng looked at the long syringe-like object with the color glowing liquid within. This liquid was exquisitely beautiful, earth-shaking beauty. Let's begin. Without hesitation. He took off the cap of the needle and inserted it into his skin, gradually pushing it in. The colorful liquid within began to slowly seep into Luo Feng's body, just like aggressive cancer cells, madly swallowing every cell within his body. There was an unbelievable hacking and slicing pain within his mind. Damn. Luo Feng bit down and cursed, immediately curling into a ball on the ground. Gritting his teeth hard, shouting out, he bit so hard that fresh blood flowed from the sides of his lips. It hurts so bad. Luo Feng, bear with it. This thing changes your bloodline, changing it from the absolute deepest regions. It's indeed extremely painful. Bear with it, it'll be over soon. Barbata consoled him. How long more? Luo Feng felt like his consciousness was at war, very quickly, not even an hour. Barbata said, an hour. Luo Feng could only bite as hard as he could. No matter the pain, he still had to bear with it. Luo Feng didn't hear any cries of pain from the two rooms beside. Obviously Hong and Thunder God were also fighting hard to bear with the immense pain. Arg, ouch. Luo Feng's nose let out a low cry of pain. And within his body, Luo Feng's every cell seemed to be at war, whether it was the cells in the muscles, bones, etc., they were all battling. Human bloodline evolution, according to logic, this was a long, arduous, gradual process, and the bloodline catalyst was something the Virtual Universe Network company had researched and produced, speeding up this absolute evolution process. Every portion's cost was extremely high. Within the training room, Luo Feng sprawled across the floor, his clothes wet and sticking to his body, revealing his incredibly built physique. He was lying there absolutely tired and not moving at all. So exhausting. It's too exhausting. My entire body is gone. I don't even want to move a finger right now. Luo Feng told Barbata within his mind. However, there's a very comfortable feeling within my bones. It's really, really comfortable. The process of the bloodline evolution is of course painful, and after the evolution, you'd naturally feel incredibly comfortable. This sort of process uses up a large amount of your life force. You'd better faster go use Mu Ya crystals. They store a large amount of life force, treasures that can spur your life evolution. If you use it now, it'd be the best. Barbata said, understood. Luo Feng nodded, inform my big and second brother to use the Mu Ya crystals too. Luo Feng ordered. Barbata informed them through their communication devices. Within Bailan Star, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were immersed in their training. The amount stored within one Mu Ya crystal was shocking. Usually Luo Feng would spend some time every day to absorb it, causing his body to be totally full. Today, however, after experiencing the big bloodline evolution, his starving body was madly absorbing the energy from the Mu Ya crystal. It's incomparably splendid. Luo Feng sat cross-legged, holding a Mu Ya crystal in his hand. Large amounts of life force energy were being madly absorbed by his body. Every cell that had just undergone tremendous change was madly devouring this energy. They were ravished. Every bit of energy that just entered his body was immediately swallowed. This process carried on continuously. About 23 hours passed. An entire Mu Ya crystal had been completely absorbed. Luo Feng took out another Mu Ya crystal. The process of absorbing a crystal was also a step in Luo Feng's body's evolution, with his body constantly growing and evolving. Naturally, the amount of spirit energy his can take also grew, with large amounts of pure spirit energy flowing from his life's core straight into his consciousness. The amount of spirit energy in his consciousness increased more and more. Rumble blood red spirit energy rushed about like a tidal wave, raging within, before madly gathering, forming a large blood ball. Constantly expanding and contracting, it seemed almost as though the entire world only had this one red ball. Following its final contraction, his entire consciousness rumbled. A glaring miniature glowing planet formed, along with the original miniature planet. Within his consciousness, the new planet revolved around the older planet. The older planet also rotated slowly, forming a two-planet construct. Extremely pure spirit energy was purified through passing through the core of these two planets, almost like a mist permeating throughout his entire existence. At the same time, the void pagoda also began to change. Star Level 2. Luo Feng's body had already broken through from the Star Traveler Level 7 to 8. His Spirit Reader side had stepped into the Star Level 2. One day later, Luo Feng stepped on the soaring shuttle, becoming a beam of light, swiftly flying through the extreme cold regions of the Bailan Star's northern regions. The terrifying speed caused the solid snow below to burst open, forming a deep gorge path. A frozen snow mountain was pierced by a golden swordfish madly going through it. Finally it exploded from within, large amounts of snow and ice scattering about, thrilling. Luo Feng stood in mid-air, looking at the snow mountain crumble. extremely carefree, third brother. Third brother. Two voices resounded from the distance, coming. The soaring shuttle below Luo Feng's feet became a beam of light, and swiftly headed in the direction of the voices in the distance. Standing on the snow were two men, one in black and the other in white. It was Hong and Thunder God. The current Hong and Thunder God were in high spirits. When they used the bloodline catalyst before, Luo Feng had reminded them to use the Mu Ya crystals. Naturally they used it immediately. Its effectiveness was the best at that time. Hong actually broke through and reached the star level 1. And Thunder God's level also raised and reached star level 2. However, this sort of chance might not happen again. The effectiveness of the bloodline catalyst works the best the first time. Using it after may not produce any results at all. However, Luo Feng, Hong and Thunder God were already satisfied. After all, the most important effect of the bloodline catalyst was making their evolution path in the future easier and faster. Third brother. Hong smiled as he looked at Luo Feng. Luo Feng descended and landed on the snowy ground. Third brother, big brother and I were thinking of going to apply for the universe probation mercenary exams. What do you think? Thunder God looked at Luo Feng. The universe probation mercenary exams. Luo Feng was shocked. That was right. Big brother was already in the star level 1 now. He could take the universe probation mercenary exams. This exam was the entrance exam into the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Back then their good brothers Heruo and Bulemu also went to take part in it. This entrance exam was for the sole sake of eliminating those unsuited for the life of danger. The elimination method, many die. Those who were lucky got to keep their little lives. Hence, this probation mercenary exam had a high death rate. It was renowned for that. Universe probation mercenary exams. Luo Feng repeated, what do you think? Hong and Thunder God looked at Luo Feng. When are you thinking of leaving? Luo Feng asked, of course the earlier the better. Thunder God couldn't help but say. Naturally, we have things to attend to first. We first have to check in the virtual universe network about the exam itself and the things we should pay attention to. Virtual universe, Black Dragon Mountain Islands 9-star Bay. Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God were sitting around a table and facing a display. There was a large amount of information for those wanting to take the Universe Mercenary Rhine test. The Universe Mercenary Trainee test are all taken in the Sector Lord's world. Inside the world of a Sector Lord, besides the dangers naturally found within, the biggest danger are the other members taking the tests. Robberies and murders can happen at any time, and people can steal away your item objectives. As Luo Feng read the caution, he frowned. If a rookie star level 2 or 3 stage is participating in the trainee test, you should find star level 8 or 9 stage warriors to form a squad. That way, you at least can defend yourselves against those wanting to steal from you. No matter what, do not directly enter with just star traveler level 1 and 2 stages. Even if you get lucky and find the items you need, they'll just get stolen away. After Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God finished reading, they all exchanged glances and were speechless. So the most dangerous thing in the exam are the other participants. Thunder God shook his head helplessly. You can never predict the nature of others, said Hong seriously. Thankfully we have 2 servants. Even though Luo Feng felt a bit of pressure, he wasn't too nervous. Because when he departed, Luo Feng brought 2 star level 9 stage slaves with him just in case they run into some trouble. Keep in mind he bought a bunch of star level 9 stage slaves. Out of these 2, one of them is a spirit reader while the other is a fighter. And these 2 are the most outstanding ones. Luo Feng passed on his secret training methods of the Yun Mo sect to these group of star level 9 stages. Since they are slaves there is naturally no need to worry about betrayal, which was why Barbata didn't stop it. Form a squad with star level 8 or 9 stages. Thunder God laughed, ha ha, thankfully we have 2 great helpers, yes. So we don't need to find other people anymore. Hong also smiled. Forming a squad. This wasn't protected by law, so you couldn't completely trust your squad members. Making sure you don't get backstabbed is a very tiring thing. Luo Feng and the other 2 were lucky to have 2 star level 9 stage slaves. This way, they can form a squad of 5 and have excellent teamwork. In the vast universe, those of the same race or origin usually have deep connections. After all, there are countless amounts of species in the universe, and an even larger amount of planets. Daddy, what are you looking at? The young boy Luo Hua jumped over in his battle uniform. Daddy is busy, come, give me a kiss. Luo Feng smiled as he ran over and picked up his son. That night, Luo Feng and the others took a spaceship and left by Land Star. You must do the paperwork for the adventurer status in real life at the Universe Mercenary Alliance. Only with your adventurer status can you undergo the trainee test. Luo Feng and the others' destination is Dragon Star Point 10 days later. The Universe Mercenary Alliance station at Dragon Star basically looked like a castle. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and the 2-star level 9 stage bodyguards entered within. "There's so many people," exclaimed Luo Feng. "It's like a sea of people." Thunder God was dazzled. Large numbers of people entered the Universe Mercenary Alliance building, and over 80% of them were here to sign up for their adventurer status. Luo Feng and the others were also in the sea of people. They lined up with all sorts of other human species, and finally finished their paperwork for the adventurer status, after about an hour. Adventurer card. This is an adventurer card. Thunder God looked at the card in his hand. "Don't lose it, it's quite a pain to get it," laughed Luo Feng. "Go, let's go sign up for the Universe Mercenary trainee test." There were a lot of people signing up for an adventurer status. But there weren't a lot of people signing up for the Universe Mercenary trainee test. Luo Feng and the others didn't even need to line up. Star Level 2 Stage Spirit Reader, Star Level 2 Stage Fighter, Star Level 1 Stage Fighter, Star Level 9 Stage Fighter, Star Level 9 Stage Spirit Reader. All of you meet the requirements for the Mercenary trainee test. Please pay 10,000 Black Dragon dollars per person. Very good. The specifics of your test are in here. You can read them when you have the time. After having all 5 of their adventurer cards scanned, their numbers entered the Universe Mercenary trainee test system and are eligible to participate in the test. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God and the others entered a bar to the side. After entering, they randomly ordered some drinks and immediately started reading about the exam. Enter the Sector Lord's world in Kanglan Star, and find 3 wind cornerstones and 1 horn from the horned iron rhino. After that, hand it to the Universe Mercenary Alliance workers at the exit of the Sector Lord's world. After doing that, you will have successfully passed the test and will become a qualified mercenary trainee. The missions for the test themselves are naturally made for testing purposes. This is not a regular adventure. These missions were made to disqualify large amounts of people. It definitely won't be easy, mumbled Thunder God. And then he laughed. Wind cornerstone, horn from the horned iron rhino. Can't people just buy them and then claim they got it themselves? Look here, Luo Feng flipped to the 6th page of the test explanation book. The wind cornerstone is a special stone unique to that Sector Lord's world and carries the essence of that world. And the horn of the horned iron rhino beast inside that Sector Lord's world have been marked by the Universe Mercenary Alliance's workers. Every time a mission is completed, the testing items are taken back. The Universe Mercenary Alliance is extremely strict about the items. Once someone is found cheating, they will directly lose their right to take the test forever. And for those who are selling the items, they are directly killed. Luo Feng, Hong, Thunder God, and the 2 bodyguards were discussing about the Universe Mercenary trainee test that was about to begin. Gentlemen, an extremely skinny man with huge eyes came close with a huge smile. "Are the 5 of you preparing to participate in the Universe Mercenary trainee exam?" Luo Feng and the others looked over. The mercenary trainee test, within the area of the Black Dragon Mountain Empire, is always held in the Sector Lord's world on Kanglan Star. I have here a detailed map of that world, and the records and experiences of many seniors who have completed the mercenary trainee exam, said the man quietly. With this, your rates of success will increase by at least 10%. Detailed map. Experiences. Luo Feng looked at the skinny man. "How much money?" asked Thunder God. "Not a lot. 100 Black Dragon dollars per copy," replied the skinny man. "What do you mean not a lot?" 50 Black Dragon dollars for a copy, said Thunder God directly. "Deal." The skinny man was extremely direct. On Dragon Star, Luo Feng and the others purchased 2 more books on people's experiences on the trainee exam. After comparing them, the maps were indeed exactly the same. And there were all types of experiences. But as they read and read, Luo Feng, Hong, and Thunder God were shocked that the Sector Lord's world changes after a certain amount of time. On Dragon Star, Luo Feng bought his bodyguards a Stage 2 battle uniform and a Stage 2 energy, spiritual, weapon. Maybe an extremely high-quality Stage 2 spirit weapon requires a few billion Black Dragon dollars, but even his own weapon is a low-quality Stage 3 spirit weapon. So of course, the weapons of these 2 bodyguards are medium-quality Stage 2 weapons. Stage 2 weapons are enough for star levels. After that, Luo Feng and the others rode on the spaceship and left Dragon Star as they headed towards the even more famous Kanglan Star. Kanglan Star, one of the stars that can rank within the top 100 in terms of importance within the Black Dragon Mountain Empire. The master of this planet is a sector lord. Of course this sector lord isn't currently living on Kanglan Star, AOGU, Tainan He. From now on, you two are extremely important members of our squad. When someone tries to rob us, the three of us will have to rely on you two. Inch within the spaceship's control room, all five of them were there. Luo Feng was smiling as he looked at the two bodyguards in front of him, which were the two slaves he brought with him this time. They had similar appearances to people on Earth. AOGU, a star level 9 stage spirit reader. He was extremely skinny and barely has any meat on his cheeks. His dark red hair was messy. He was the strongest spirit reader out of the various star level 9 slaves Luo Feng purchased. Tainan He, an energetic, large man. He had sunken eyes and the only difference between him and regular humans was that he had 3 scales on his forehead. He was the most powerful fighter within the star level 9 slaves Luo Feng purchased. Protecting our master is our purpose, said old AOGU. Master, don't say it like that. Follow Tainan He, don't be humble. Our squad will be together for an extremely long amount of time. If our squad splits up in the future and you two are still alive, I'm still alive. After going through so many life and death situations together, I'll choose to deactivate your microchips and restore your freedom, said Luo Feng. AOGU and Tainan his eyes flashed. Freedom. That is what every slave hopes for. However, under the control of the microchip, they have no way to go against their master's will. Luo Feng nodded to himself. Slaves won't go against your will, but giving them something to strive for will make these two bodyguards work even harder. Luo Feng also decided that once these two aren't strong enough to be useful and the squad splits up, it would be normal to grant these two their freedom after going through so many life and death situations together. We're almost at Kanglan Star. Our spaceship is right about to pass through space. Kanglan Star, AOGU and Tainan He had a bit of desire in their eyes. They will work hard to protect Luo Feng with all they have. Because once their master dies, it's over for them. And their hope for freedom will also disappear. Not every master gives their slaves a chance to be free. After passing through space, the spaceship flew towards a blue planet with unrivaled beauty. What a beautiful planet. It's almost as beautiful as ours. Luo Feng stood in the control room and complimented the faraway star. It is indeed beautiful. Thunder God also complimented, however, it's quite amazing. This Kanglan Star has a diameter of around 32,000 kilometers, and the Sector Lord's world hidden on Kanglan Star has a surface area of over 100 times that of Kanglan Stars. Such a gigantic world, and I heard some Sector Lords at the peak of their level can hide it within a single grain of sand. 1 grain of sand, 1 world. This is a powerful aspect of the Sector Lords, complimented Hong. The worlds of Sector Lords are indeed mysterious. And the Universe Mercenary Trainee exam will be in one of those worlds. The dark blue spaceship quickly flew into Kanglan Star. This video will end here. Thank you for watching.